Downstream, around the bend from the primary site, work progressed on construction of a rock quarry and on a huge crusher to break the rock into aggregate. The broken rock would later be hauled to the site and, in a batch plant, mixed with cement to make concrete for the dam. It was August 1967, and on both sides of the steep canyon, the solid rock to anchor the dam lay fully exposed. In the river bottom, carpenters began laying the first wooden forms to shape the big concrete shell. The first bucket of concrete on September 13th, 1967, would be followed by the last one 22 months and 350,000 bucket loads later. It would take men, trucks, and equipment just short of 2 years, working around the clock to pour this massive monument on the Yuba.